All right, what's up, tycoons? What's up, traders? We're going to break down the NEXO coin today. All right, we're going to take a look at NEXO, ticker symbol NEXO, break things down on the daily time frame, right? And if we zoom out a little bit, things don't look perfect, right? Things look like a giant bear pennant could be trying to form here that could potentially take us lower. All right, but really, when you zoom in on things, we're really just stuck in a range for over the past month. We've really just been range down. I'm going to break down the key levels of where we're going to be bullish above and where we're going to be bearish below once we get out of this range to potentially hit some bullish or bearish price targets. So be sure to stay tuned for that. We'll also talk about today's sponsor, the Tangem wallet. Tangem is a hardware wallet. Okay, it's good to get your money off of these exchanges. If you didn't see what happened with FTX and you've been living under a rock, you really can't trust these exchanges at all. So you need to get them off of there and onto a secure wallet that you guys trust. We'll talk more about them later. As always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. Trading in stocks, bonds, commodities, and crypto involves significant risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. So be sure to read through the full disclaimer. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we do have what seems to be a bear pennant forming, all right, on the much more of a macro time frame, right? We see the giant flagpole down here, okay, and this could all right here just be the pennant, and we could break down and head much lower. All right. Now, I'm not too focused on that right now. Currently, if you look, we're actually at the upper range of this pennant. Okay. We've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're approaching a fifth time now. The more times you test these levels, the weaker they get, right? So there is a strong chance that we could actually break out of here. And if we do get a breakout in a perfect world scenario, that's going to take us up near $1.20. Okay. Right around where the pattern began. And topped out at is where you would look for a perfect world scenario breakout to take us. Okay. But as I mentioned, we've really just been range bound. Okay. So if we zoom in here and take a look, we have this overhead supply zone right here, and we have, our demand zone down below. Now, what these are, if you're not familiar, okay, they're very similar to support and resistance. But what these are areas of imbalance. Okay. There's an imbalance of supply, aka sell orders, or an imbalance of demand, aka buy orders, right? And you can see we had this initial push up and we pulled back, and this is where we established a new demand zone, right? A new imbalance of buy orders that pushes price higher each time we come back down into this zone, right? We can see all of the times that we've retested this zone and we pushed up higher. Same thing with our supply zone over here. We formed this supply zone here, and each time that we've come in here, there's been an imbalance of sell orders pushing things lower. Now, eventually this range is going to break, okay, because the imbalance of sell orders or the imbalance of buy orders is going to break, all right, meaning that, that imbalance will go away eventually and things will start to, correct themselves. And rather than seeing an imbalance in this supply zone, we could see stability and see things, further contract, or we could actually flip this supply zone to a demand zone and push up higher, right? That's very similar to, breaking resistance, okay? So right now, nothing big is really happening. As I mentioned, we, tested that trend line again over here. We're getting very close to testing it again. And we just need to be cautious of a false breakout where we break out up into our overhead supply zone and then get a move back down into the range. Okay. That's what you want to be cautious of. Now, ultimately, we're really bullish above 0.729. This is our 61.8% retracement level of resistance. If you watch my videos, you should be pretty familiar with the fibs. I didn't want to clutter the chart with too many fibs. So we have our 61.8% retracement level of resistance, our 61.8% retracement level of support. Now, the reason it says bearish below here and bullish above here is ultimately, even if we, come into the supply zone, and yes, we do have supply zone above our bullish above level, what we need to see is if we do get a pullback, we need to see it hold above this 0.729 area. Okay. If we can hold above this 0.729 area, then we have the chance of eliminating that imbalance and pushing up higher. Same thing to the downside, right? We have 0.643. If we end up staying below this 0.643 level, okay, and flipping that to resistance and consolidating in this demand, but not able to get back above, ultimately we're going to be bearish below, and the likelihood we break through our demand zone and head back down to 0.055 is going to be more increasing. Okay. So those are the major levels right now. Now, I don't really like any of the setups here currently because there's no clarity on the MACD. There's no clarity really on our relative strength index here either. We're not seeing a bullish divergence. We're not seeing a bearish divergence. We're just seeing lots of ranging here as well on the MACD. Usually this long extended ranging period leads to a big move once we finally do get a signal. The signals you would be looking for would be something like this, a buy signal where the red line crosses up above. And you can see we had a very strong push up here. Okay, or a sell signal where you see the red line cross down below the yellow line on the MACD. You can see we had a very strong push to the downside afterwards as well. That's basically what I'm looking at on Nexo. Okay, we've been very range bound for over a month, right around 2 months now. We're approaching that we've just been chopping sideways in between these major supply zone and demand zones. We should see a breakout here soon, either to the upside or to the downside. But we need to be cautious of a false breakout of that bear pennant, okay, where we break up and then, we head back down because that supply zone is very strong. Definitely be cautious of that, okay? And even if we break through this demand zone, we still have this bottom trend line here that we could end up testing for support again and then potentially getting the breakout. But ultimately, if we break below this demand zone, remember the main levels we're looking at is 0.729. We're going to be bullish above there if we can flip that to support from resistance, and we're going to be bearish below 0.643 if we flip that to resistance from support. Now, today's sponsor is the Tangem wallet. Tangem is a cold multi-currency crypto wallet. It looks just like a credit card, actually, which is really nice, but it functions without any batteries, wires, and connectors. So no longer having to, connect it to your PC, connect it to a laptop, etc. The setup time is super quick as well. All right, it literally only takes about 1 to 3 minutes. It took me about 2 minutes to get mine set up. I mean, it's super simple, easy to use. What you guys want to do is you want to go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, download the app today. And when you make your purchase, use code exactly. That will get you guys a discount. Once you have your card, all you have to do is scan and activate, set up the password, and you can start making transactions. So use code exactly, and that will get you guys a discount.